I think we could calculate it right now, actually. Calculate how long it would take for an Iron Man to go for an egg hunt. I haven't ran these numbers. Someone said, I think this is about right, 42 dittos per hour. It's probably somewhere between 40 to 48, depending on your strategy, your efficiency, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to calculate at 42 per hour. I think it's pretty reasonable. So the math you would do, the problem is you would also have to calculate the Pokeyen needed to get all the dust balls for the, or like repeat balls as well. That's like a, I'm gonna choose to just count for dust balls. I could do a mixture, but dust balls is easier. So 1350 dust balls. You use about 1.5 dust balls, maybe 1.6 or so. We're gonna do 1.5 for easy math. 1.5 or so dust balls per ditto. So that's 1350 times 1.5. So 2K times 30,000 dittos. So the Pokeyen, what the fuck? As an Iron Man, it would cost you almost 61 million Pokeyen as an Iron Man to get the dust balls to farm that many dittos. That's actually revolting. That's actually fucking crazy. 61 mil on an Iron Man account. Okay, so then divide that by like gym reruns, which like maybe gym reruns and trainer reruns. I'm gonna calculate at, you cannot make that much Pokeyen per hour on an Iron Man account. I'm gonna calculate like 200k, and that's like gym reruns, trainer, like, you know, we're kind of evening it out. Payday picked up's like 120 an hour. We're gonna try that. So let's say that on an Iron Man account, it's about 304 hours to grind all the Pokeyen. So we need three numbers. We need the time it takes to grind the Pokeyen, the time it takes to catch the dittos, and then the time it takes to make and hatch all the eggs. This is more complicated than I expected, actually. Okay, we are turning this into a whole ass calculation. So we have the yen needed and the time it takes to make that yen. Next up, the math is how long to actually farm the dittos. We're going to calculate at 40 dittos an hour. It's underestimating because over a long-term hunt, you're just not going to be that efficient. Like, you know, mistakes are going to happen. So I'd rather under-calculate or like over-count the time it would take and like kind of overestimate a little bit and then just kind of go from there. If it takes less time than that, cool, right? You know, kind of like a positive, assume the worst, plan for the best type beat. So this is 30,000 divided by 40, 750 hours. 750 hours, okay, to actually farm the dittos. So next up, the final math is how long it takes to make and hatch the eggs. And I think that this is the most complicated math. Generally, people, I think, make around 600 eggs an hour right now, but it's also tough to calculate that on an Iron Man account because you don't have the PC space for that. So you'd have to factor in I don't know how many. It'd be tough. It'd be awkward, right? I think what you would end up doing is you would make 8 eggs and then you would just hatch them and then make 8 more and then hatch them and then make 8 more and then hatch them. I might need to go test this for myself before we can find or guesstimate these numbers the best of our ability. Okay, I'm gonna try to simulate the clicks of the breed and just set a 5-minute timer to arbitrarily time this and see how long it would take to do 8 breeds. So we're gonna go ahead and start. I'm also not very good. I haven't done this in a very long time. You would go boop boop boop, okay, boop boop boop, breed, okay, boop 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 boop, okay, boop boop boop, breed, okay, boop 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 boop, okay, boop boop boop, breed, okay. That's 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, so let's say it take, okay, we're guesstimating here, okay? I don't have the actual dittos. We're guesstimating. So I would say it takes like 25 seconds or so. And then the problem is you have to wait with the egg hatching. You have to wait for the next tick now. And I don't know if that auto equates every 8 eggs to taking 6 minutes. That might over guesstimate, but I think it's the best way to calc it. So I'm going to go for that. So I'm going to assume that every 8 eggs you make takes 6 minutes. I think is the best way to do the math. Is it with flame body? You don't have donor status to speed up your hatching either. You only have flame body. But I think that's right. So let's assume, okay, so you would do 30,000 divided by 8 and then divided by 6, correct? It's times 6. Yes, thank you, Duck. So, okay, this is the amount of batches. So it'd be 3,750 batches to make 30,000 eggs. You would multiply this by 6 minutes, and this would give you the minutes it would take to do the making and hatching of the egg process on an Iron Man. So you do this number divided by 60, which would give us hours. So that was actually pretty good. So 375 hours. I think that's about right. You could like roll it up to like 400 hours if you want to like highball or whatever. But like, I think it's about right. I think it's about right. 375 hours to hatch and make the eggs. So we have all of our numbers. Look at the notepad document. This was like, I'm bad at math, but we got it. I think we got it. Okay. 304 hours for the time to make the Pokeyen, plus 750 hours for the time to farm the dittos, most of the time there, plus 375 to actually make and hatch the eggs, making an Iron Man shiny hunt come to 1,429 hours, which is still less than single encountering Charmander. That was the point of this whole calculation, was to see if even on an Ironman account, whether it's worth or not to single encounter for your rares or to egg them. Even on an Ironman account, it's still worth to egg them, which is kind of crazy. I'm glad we came to this math. Thank you, chat, for helping me. This was a fun little calculation. Hopefully this helped you. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe. Pod. That is super true, though. BBN brings up, you get 20 shinies on the way to the single encounter. So that's actually a really good question of, is it worth to spend 2,000, maybe like after making the Pokeyen for the lures, probably like 22 or 2,300 hours? Is it more worth to spend 22 to 2,300 hours to get 20 shinies and the rare that you want, or 1,400 for just the rare? Single encountering might be better. I'm not sure. I don't know. Yo, what's up? Outro Patrouski here. I wanted to take this second to say thank you so much for watching the entire video. It is thanks to people like you I'm able to make the content that I do, as well as everybody whose name is listed here. That's it for me. Have a fantastic day.